Okay guys, let's get started. I'm going to dip into Tease from the Naked 2 palette, and I'm going to use a fluffy brush just to blend this into the crease. This is going to be our transition color. I know what you're thinking, you're using browns while you're using grays and blacks. Yes, just because this has a gray undertone, it's a really cool tone brown, and it's going to help to blend everything out and make sure that I don't look like I'm a raccoon with a ton of black on my eye. It's going to blend everything nice and even, and it's just going to give the look a nice smoky effect. These places change me. I'm really kind of taking my time buffing this into the crease because this is going to be what really helps transition all of the other colors and make them smoked out and smoky, so it doesn't just look like bam, I have black on my eye. It's going to blend it out really nicely, so I'm taking my time. I'm not really being precise with it. I'm just kind of taking my time to make sure that I can build up the pigment enough so that whenever I have the blacks and the grays and I add those in, it's going to look really natural and smoky and blown out. Next, I'm going in with this Glam and Beauty Nudes eye palette. It's really similar, almost identical to the Maybelline Nudes palette. I'm taking this grayish cool tone brown shade, and I'm going to buff that into the crease with a Morphe brush just to start to deepen up the crease and the outer corner and get ready for the darker colors that we're about to add. If you're having trouble blending your eyeshadow out, one of the best things you can do is use windshield wiper motions and circular motions, a mixture of both. This is going to help you blend out your eyeshadow seamlessly. Dipping into the eyelid shade from the WetNWild Don't Steal My Thunder trio, I'm going to put this on the outer corner and slowly drag it into the crease back and forth just to blend it out. I'm going to dip into this gray shade from Makeup Geek with a different brush, start packing this on the outer corner, slowly dragging it into the inner corner to blend everything out. And then I'm going to take this big fluffy brush again and I'm going to buff everything out. I keep doing this over and over to make sure everything is blended nicely. Then I'm going in with the Crease shade from the WetNWild Don't Steal My Thunder palette. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on the outer corner. This is where I'm going to start darkening up the outer corner and adding dimension to the look. This takes a little while just because I slowly start out with a small amount of pigment, gradually get more, add more to the look just so that I don't have a raccoon eye, and I keep blending it out as I go. Dipping into the shade Blackout from the Naked 2 palette, I'm going to dip into this with a small pencil brush, and I'm going to focus this on the outer corner and crease of the eye. This is also going to add dimension. This color is really pigmented, so I try to use as little as possible and build it up slowly. This black is a buildable black, which is nice if you start out slow and gradually add more pigment to the look. I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in 15 Fair and a flat shader brush, and this is where I'm going to start to carve out the crease. I just put a little bit of that concealer on the back of my hand, dip my brush into it, and I'm going to carve out my natural crease, but go slightly above my natural crease so that when I open my eyes, the glitter that I put on my eyes later on is really visible, whether my eyes are open or closed. You're also going to see me start to drag that concealer outward toward the outer part of my eye a little bit. This is going to create a gradient effect once we add the glitter later on. Next, I'm going to take a glitter glue. This one is from Nyx. I'm going to go ahead and put this on my eyelid everywhere that I put concealer. You're going to want to do this fairly quickly because you're going to want the glue to be tacky so that the glitter has a nice sticky base to adhere to. Otherwise, there's going to be tons of fallout and you're going to make a mess. So make sure that you do one eye at a time, and that's going to give you a nice sticky base for the eyeshadow to stick onto. The glitter I'm going to be using is from NYX. It's the Face and Body Glitter in the shade 06 Crystal. I'm going to pack this everywhere that I put that glitter glue, and I'm just going to try to do this fairly quickly just so that the glue is still tacky and it doesn't dry on me, because having to go back in with that glue is going to mess up the glitter that's already dried down. And if you notice, this glitter has like an iridescent look to it. I prefer this one over the regular silver one just because of that reason. It has like an iridescent look to it. If you would prefer just the plain silver, you can do that. You can do pink. I think they have rose gold. They have a ton of colors. They all work the same. You can still use all of them with the same exact makeup look. Just switch out your glitter. I'm going to go back into this gray shade from Makeup Geek and just go ahead and re-darken up the outer corner just in case any glitter covered it up. I'm going to go back into the crease also just a little bit. Make sure you have just a slight amount of pigment on your brush. If you have too much, you're going to look like a raccoon because you're going to get too much black in the inner corner. I'm going to dip back into the WetNWild Don't Steal My Thunder trio. I'm going to dip back into that crease shade. I'm going to put it on the outer corner and drag it in on the inner corner. I'm going to darken up the crease again. This is going to be kind of a repeat. You're going to keep doing the same things to blend everything out. And I did get cut out of this frame, so sorry for that. But you're just going to do the same thing you did before with the gray shade from Makeup Geek. You're just going to darken up the outer corner and slowly drag it into the crease. Just try to do it slowly with a small amount of pigment and build up your pigment as you go. Going back in with that fluffy brush, we're going to blend everything out, just blend the edges just to make sure everything is smooth and blended. We don't want any harsh lines, and I don't want that black to be too intense, so I'm going to kind of dial it down with this brush and just smooth everything out. After blending everything out here, I'm going to go in with a makeup wipe, and I'm just going to smooth out the edges of this just because that black has some fallout, not too much, but a little bit, and it's just going to clean up the edges of the look. I'm going back in with that first shade from the Naked 2 palette called Tease that we used for our crease. I'm going to use this on a pencil brush and just go over the edges a little bit because the black was starting to look a little too intense for me, and I wanted to make sure it was smoky and blown out. I'm going to use this brow bone shade to highlight my brow bone and also my inner corners. This is going to lift the brow a little bit and make your eyes look more open when we put it in the inner corner. While putting this on the inner corner, I'm going to drag it upwards a little bit into the eyelid just to make it look like your eyes are more open, awake, and it's going to give a nice frosty effect to the inner corner. I'm going to go in with this WetNWild megaliner in black, and I'm just going to draw regular eyeliner, draw a wing, make it as big or as small as you please, and then I'm going in with I think it's like a $1 eyelash glue, and I'm going to put it on these Ardell faux mink lashes. I love these. They're really lightweight, but when I first put them on, I was kind of disappointed because I felt like there was nothing there. But once I add mascara, you'll see they're actually really, really beautiful lashes. So if you just add some mascara to them, I didn't put any on prior to putting my eyelashes on, but I did put some on the actual lashes after I applied them, and it made them look really nice and full and bold, and it opened my eyes up a lot, and I really, really like them. Okay, so this part is kind of like a first impressions. I just bought this Hard Candy Sheer Envy Coconut Water Primer Stick, and I freaking love this thing. I've only used it one time, but it's like a glue stick for your makeup. Your makeup and your foundation literally just sticks to it. It does have a scent. You'll see me smelling it here. It smells like an Elmer's glue stick, but I swear to you, it works. I love it. It made my makeup last all day. I'll have to use it a little more to give a full impression, but for a first impression, I love this. It is a little expensive. I think it's $8.99 at Walmart, but I mean, it's still a drugstore price. A little pricey for a primer for me, but I really do like it. And like I said before, I did apply a little bit of mascara. This is just my Lash Princess mascara from Essence, and that just really set off the lashes for me. Here I'm putting on more of that primer and rubbing it in just a little bit because I felt like just using the stick and not my hands to rub it in, I didn't get it everywhere that I wanted it to go, and I wanted to kind of press it into the skin, and you can see here how sticky it is. I'm like amazed by it, but it's super sticky, which makes your foundation stick. My foundation did not move all day. I freaking love this stuff. Okay, done ranting about Hard Candy Coconut Water Primer Stick. Next. Okay, so here I'm using the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Foundation. I got this in the shade W2 because that's the color that I wear in the L'Oreal True Match regular foundation. I'm putting this on with a beauty sponge just because I didn't like the cushion that it came with. I don't know how to feel about this. This is a first impressions for me also. I really don't know how to feel about this. It has decent coverage. I would say sheer to medium coverage, not full coverage, but a sheer to medium coverage. I don't know, the finish is super dewy, which I like because I have combination skin, so where my dry patches are, it came off really nice. I don't mind the finish at all, and I don't really mind the coverage. It's more of the color that I mind. I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but it came off kind of orange on me, like it oxidized or something. I'm not really sure. Or maybe I just need a lighter shade. Maybe I should try the Porcelain in the W1 shade. Maybe that would work best for me in the Lumi. I'm assuming it's just because the formula is a little different that the color payoff is a little different also. But it came off kind of orange. Once I added concealer, it all evened out. It wasn't a big deal. But if you're looking to just put on a concealer, or I'm sorry, a foundation without concealer, I don't know that I'd recommend this until you find your correct shade. So be careful when you're trying to select your shade because I don't know how to feel about this. To highlight the areas of my face where I want a little more light and to add dimension to my face, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in 15 Fair. This is my holy grail concealer. I'm pretty sure I haven't used any other concealer in the past like 8 or 9 months just because I love this stuff. I'm just highlighting everywhere. I literally put this everywhere, mostly in the center of my face, and then the bronzer and everything will add dimension later on. So I'm just buffing this all out, blending it in. I'm going to take this e.l.f. HD powder. It's a translucent powder, and I'm going to use this to set everywhere that I highlighted. This says it's an HD powder. It is not an HD powder. An HD powder means that it won't have flashback in photography, but this definitely does. If I wear this, I can see everywhere that I put it. It's like a white streak just across your face, so keep that in mind if you're going to get professional pictures done or even just pictures on your phone. I wouldn't suggest this because it does have a huge flashback. For everywhere that I didn't set with the e.l.f. HD powder, I'm going to go ahead and set with this Rimmel Matte Foundation Pressed Powder. To set my brows, which I actually did off camera, I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in Soft Brown. Here I'm going to use the Milani Easy Brow in Soft Brown. This is a tinted brow gel. This is just going to set my eyebrows, make sure they stay all day. I like this stuff, like I said before in previous videos. I have to have a brow gel whenever I do my eyebrows or I feel naked. And also, I feel like my eyebrows aren't going to last. To carve out my cheekbones a little bit, I'm going to use my Profusion Pro Contour palette, and I'm going to use the lightest bronzing shade in the palette, and I'm going to carve my cheekbones out with this, just give my face a little bit of dimension, and then I'm also going to go in with bronzer here in just a sec, and that's going to warm my face up. To bronze up the skin, I'm going to use this Nars. This is just a little sample that I got, I think from Sephora or Ulta, I'm not sure. This is just the Nars bronzing powder in the shade Laguna, I believe. And I'm just going to use this to warm my face up, give some warmth to the look because I'm so white and it's winter time and we need a little bit of sunshine in our lives, even if it's artificial. I'm going to dip into this blush from Milani called Luminoso. This is like a peachy pink, and I'm going to use this Royal and Langnickel brush that came in a set. It did come off a little too dark. I got a little heavy-handed with the blush, okay? It happens. I'm just using this Real Techniques buffing brush. I think it's like a foundation brush, and I'm just going to buff that out a little bit because I did get a little too heavy-handed and too intense with the blush. Excuse me, it happens. I'm sorry. Next, I'm taking an eyeshadow from the Morphe Kathleenlights palette. I love this shade for highlighting my brow bone in my inner corner, and I thought, hey, why don't I just highlight my whole face with it? So I did highlight my whole face with it. It actually worked really good. It did show a little bit of texture on my face, which obviously I can't complain because it is an eyeshadow, not a highlighter, but I still like it, and it still turned out fine. I'm going to use the crease and eyelid shade from this trio and just run it along my lower lash line just to make sure that the eye look isn't too top heavy and we have just a little bit of something on the bottom. I'm not going too crazy with this, just smoking it out a little bit just to give it something so it's not like bam on top. It has a little bit to blend out on the bottom also. As per usual, I'm going to use my Lash Princess Essence mascara, and I'm just going to put a little bit of mascara on my lower lash line. I prefer to do this all the time, and I suggest that you do this all the time. Even if your eyelashes are super small and thin, it does add a little bit of something to the look, and it makes you look more awake and makes your eyes look more open. I'm going to run this NYX white eyeliner just in my waterline. This is also going to open up my eye. I want this look to be really bold and make my eyes look really, really open and big and awake. I'm going to use this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream called Paris just to fill my lips in. If you don't have this, just use whatever you have. Doesn't even have to be the same color. Whatever you have at home will work fine. Okay guys, and that is the finished look. This was my take on the New Year's Eve makeup tutorial. I hope you liked it. I hope you come back for more. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. Also, leave me a comment down below on what you'd like to see and what videos you would like me to do in the future. I hope you guys have a fantastic New Year's Eve, and I hope you guys have a great 2018. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
These roads intersect, on each one I reflect. These lines write my story, these places change.